Blade and Sorcery.
Ah, shit.
A name you've heard, played, or seen at least once if you've touched a VR headset. It's brutal, it's flexible, and still one of the most talked about VR games years after release. But why does it hold up? Today, I'm breaking it down into 5 core categories to show why Blade Sorcery either deserves your nails or doesn't. Number 1. Melee Combat. This is the core of Blade Sorcery. The stabbing, slashing, bludgeoning chaos. Well, that's what brings most people in. But what makes it stand out isn't just that the weapons hit hard, it's how much freedom you have. Wanna dual-wield daggers? Use gravity magic to throw a spear like Thor? Wield a chair like a warhammer? You can. The game, it doesn't force a playstyle, it rewards your creativity, and that's rare in combat games. The physics sell it. Swing too hard and your weapon might bounce. Miss your strike, you'll feel it. Every hit has weight, and that movement feels like it's reacting to you. It's not just animations. My verdict on melee combat? It is a solid 10 out of 10 nails. It is the best combat system in any VR game I've ever played. It's so amazing, man. It's like incredibly polished. Number 2, the magic system. Now let's talk magic. At its core, Blade Sorcery is a fantasy game, not just a medieval one. But the magic system isn't the greatest. There are some great ideas there, gravity lifts, lightning strikes, fireballs, telekinesis, but unless you really dig in, it gets really limited compared to Melee. No spell combos, no real upgrade paths, most players stick to Melee and treat magic as a bonus tool. That said, when used right, magic can feel insanely powerful. It's just that steep learning curve that keeps a lot of players from unlocking its full potential. My verdict on the magic system is that it is probably a 5 out of 10, because it is really cool once you learn it, and it is definitely a really cool system, but it's not the best to come to VR, and it's not the greatest in basically any category. It's just cool enough to be in the game. Alright, let's get this out of the way. The enemy AI in Blade Sorcery is not the strong suit. Enemies don't flank, they barely block, and they tend to walk one at a time like it's a bad kung fu movie. But here's the thing, they're still fun to fight. Why? Because the combat itself carries the entire experience. Fighting a dumb enemy is still satisfying when you can punch them off a cliff or hit them with a frying pan midair. Mods can improve this a bit, but it's out of the box, it's bare bones. My verdict on the enemy AI is probably a 3 out of 10. If it's just rating the enemy for the smartness of the AI, it is a 3 out of 10. They're not very smart. They have a lot of scripted moves that can feel cool, but ultimately fall flat. Not in the face of everything else, but just by themselves they fall flat. Modding plus playstyle freedom. This is where Blade Sorcery really shines. Freedom. The base game is fun, but once you add mods, you can become a Jedi, a Viking, an assassin, or a literal anime character. Mods add new weapons, enemies, maps, and powers. Even entire systems like armor and progression. You want Blade Sorcery to feel like Elden Ring in VR? You can mod it that way. The devs built the game to be modular and creative, and the community took it to the next level. My verdict on mods and creative freedom? 10 out of 10. The best to come to any VR game I've ever played. Blade Sorcery makes me feel like I can do anything, because you can do anything. Number 5. Style plus immersion. Blade Sorcery isn't flashy, but it's got style. The visuals aren't ultra realistic, but they work, and the sound design sells every hit. The subtle physics, the slow-mo, and the way weapons slide at enemies or clang against a shield, it all adds immersion. It's not trying to be a movie, it's trying to make you feel like the main character, and most of the time, it succeeds. My verdict on the style and immersion? 10 out of 10. The style of the game is really good. It's kind of subtle, but once you notice it, you really notice it. You just have to stop and look sometimes, Blade Sorcery isn't perfect. The AI is dumb, the magic's undercooked, and it takes effort to really master that system. But once you do, you get a combat system that feels more real than almost anything in VR. My final verdict? Blade Sorcery gets 10 out of 10 nails. It really is an amazing VR game, and there's nothing it falls flat at hard enough to pull it down, right? The AI being bad, everything else makes up for it. And that's crazy that they can have that good of a system in every other way to back up the game enough for me to call it this good. There are parts that fall flat, but again, they don't fall flat enough to make the rest of the game's amazingness feel any more stale. So if you're getting into power fantasies, physics-based mayhem, or just want to throw people with your mind, this one is still a VR essential. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to see more, hit the follow button, like, subscribe, whatever. I'm a small content creator and it really helps me a lot. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a couple comments. You can tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. I promise you I will read every single one of them. I will not miss a single comment, okay? And I can promise y'all that. So please have a great night. Goodbye, good luck, and if I don't catch you on the next one, bye.